Welcome back to another explainer. Today we're unpacking something absolutely fascinating: how structured empathy actually facilitates psychological healing. If you've ever found yourself wondering, what really goes on behind the closed doors of a therapy session and how just talking can literally change a person's life, well, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to demystify psychotherapy right now and look at the actual anatomy of this healing concept. Okay, let's dive into this. On the very surface, psychotherapy might just look like two people sitting in a room having a chat. But what makes a simple conversation turn into a powerful, life-altering healing process? It all comes down to the dynamic relationship between those two people. This interaction isn't just a casual catch-up. It's the actual vehicle for psychological change. The human relationship itself is the core of the therapy. But to really grasp how this works, we need to get our definition straight. So let's look at the exact parameters of the process. Psychotherapy is officially defined as a voluntary relationship between a client seeking treatment and the therapist providing it. And I really want to emphasize that word voluntary. You aren't just cornering a friend to vent about your day. This is a willing, intentional bond built for a highly specific purpose, which is to help the client solve the psychological problems they are facing. By building deep trust, this therapy aims to decrease personal distress, help the client adapt way better to their environment, and ultimately change maladaptive behaviors. It's a highly intentional setup. Now, while there are a ton of different types of therapy out there, they all share four core characteristics. First up, it's a systematic application of theoretical principles. Basically, it's not just random advice. Second, and this is absolutely crucial, it is practiced only by persons who have received practical training under expert supervision. Honestly, an untrained person trying to do this might unintentionally cause way more harm than good. Third, the whole situation is focused entirely on the client and their emotional problems. The client is the absolute center of attention here. And fourth, this interaction results in a confidential, dynamic, and interpersonal therapeutic relationship. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer scope of what this relationship aims to achieve. This setup leads to a massive journey of holistic personal growth. We're looking at 10 specific goals here. It starts with immediate relief, reinforcing the client's resolve for betterment and lessening that heavy emotional pressure. But from there, it builds toward long-term transformation, unfolding the potential for positive growth, modifying stubborn habits, and changing those deep-seated thinking patterns. As the bond deepens, it increases self-awareness and improves how the client communicates and relates to others. Ultimately, it empowers the individual, facilitating decision-making, helping them become completely aware of their choices in life, and allowing them to relate to their social environment in a much more creative way. It is a complete, top-to-bottom, transformative journey. Section 1. The Therapeutic Alliance. So we've talked about the mechanical what of therapy, but now let's transition to the relational how. How do we actually achieve all those holistic goals? The answer lies right here in the Therapeutic Alliance. Think of it kind of like hiring a personal trainer, but for your mind. First, it's contractual. This isn't a friendship, it's a partnership strictly aimed at helping you overcome problems. Second, it has a limited duration. The goal isn't to rely on the therapist forever, right? It lasts only until you can deal with the problems yourself and take back control of your own life. It is a highly targeted, purpose-driven partnership. Because this alliance requires the client to really unburden themselves and confide their deepest, sometimes darkest problems, the therapist has to foster an incredibly high level of trust. How do they pull that off? By being totally accepting, genuine, and warm. As this quote highlights, the therapist conveys by their words and behaviors that they are not judging the client. In fact, they maintain positive feelings even if the client acts out, is completely rude, or confesses to doing wrong things. This is known as unconditional positive regard. I mean, think about how rare that is in everyday life, to be met with absolute, total acceptance regardless of your flaws. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the massive difference between true empathy, sympathy, and intellectual understanding. We use these words interchangeably all the time, but in therapy, they are worlds apart. Sympathy is when you have compassion or pity for someone's suffering, but you don't actually feel like they do. Intellectual understanding is described as cold. You get the situation logically, sure, but you feel absolutely nothing. True empathy, on the other hand, is when you understand the plight of another person directly from their perspective and you actually feel like them. So the crucial point to take away here is that empathy literally means putting oneself in the other person's shoes. A therapist doesn't just logically analyze a problem from a distance, and they certainly don't just sit back and pity. They step right into the client's world. This specific, intentional act of empathy is the secret ingredient. It's what takes a dry, clinical partnership and actually transforms it into a profound healing relationship. But, stepping into someone's world requires an ironclad safety net. That's exactly why strict confidentiality is completely non-negotiable. The Therapeutic Alliance demands total secrecy regarding all experiences, events, feelings, or thoughts disclosed by the client. The therapist must never, ever exploit this immense trust. It remains a strictly professional bond, which is precisely what makes this entire healing process safe and effective. We've seen how the structured application of unconditional positive regard, true empathy, and strict confidentiality creates this unique environment where profound psychological healing can occur. But I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought today. If these tools are so incredibly effective at unfolding human potential and decreasing distress inside a clinic, what might happen if you apply them outside of it? How could practicing true empathy, putting yourself squarely in another person's shoes without a drop of judgment, transform the relationships in your own social environment? It's something to think about. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.